Welcome. My name is Aztec Psyche, and in today's video, you guys voted, and I'm here to deliver Lilith and Capricorn. So my first intention when making this video was for me to be outside in nature and grounding and all of that stuff. I did do that. However, I was not able to salvage all of the video because the sun started to wash me out, and it made it impossible. It just was impossible to edit, so I had to scrap that and start over. So here I am today, presenting to you Lilith and Capricorn, and without further ado, let's get into it. Lilith was the first wife of Adam. She was made of the same likeness of him, same power as him, the same mud, the same clay. She was not made from his rib. And throughout the course of their union, Adam tried to make Lilith submit to him in his will, and she refused because she had her own mind, her own integrity, her own rights, her own independence. And this upset Adam, but it upset Lilith more until the point that she left the Garden of Eden and went into a cave in the Red Sea, and where it is rumored or mystified that that is where she populated the earth with the devil or Lucifer or demons. And I love Lilith's story because it's a story of a woman being shamed for knowing her worth and having integrity and standing firm to her beliefs and her morals. But then it's ultimately like she gets shamed and gets this horrible, horrible reputation of sleeping with devils and demons because she didn't want to sleep with Adam. What makes him so much better? I don't know. Needless to say, I think this is a perfect parallel into this placement, because this is all about reputation. It's all about public image. It's all about the core of who you are being misrepresented and misperceived by others. If you have a Lilith and Capricorn, it's almost, there is a huge possibility that you may have a dark reputation, and also that your public struggle is unmatched. No matter what type of environment that you go into, be it work, be it school, be it grocery store, there is a magnetism about you that people are drawn to. But at the same time, when you're so magnetic and you're so inviting and you're so alluring but inaccessible, that creates a space where people develop scenarios in their head that aren't true. And even if they interact with you on a day-to-day basis, they never know who you really are or the core of who you are. So the story that people tell themselves about you is so far from the story of who you are that it's like you're sitting in a movie theater and you're sitting next to them and you're sitting there watch them create this story of you, and then you have to go back home and watch your own personal movie, and it almost feels like jaded. It's almost like a part of you is shaded, like, well, shit, am I the way that I am? Am I who I say I am? Like, do I do what I say I do? Depending on where you are in your journey or your age. Because I know the older that you are, the less likely you'll second guess who you are, your intentions, your beliefs. However, if you are easily influenced, or if you're highly impressionable to other people's thoughts and opinions, which can be the case with this placement, it could have you completely reconsidering everything you've thought and believed about yourself, or maybe even have you redevelop a image to project outward about yourself to see if that can change other people's perception. I think that's mainly rooted, if you are doing this, from your deep sense of failure. And depending on which house this placement is in, that's where your ultimate fear of failure lies. So I'll say, like, let's say if you have Lilith and Capricorn in the third house, your ultimate fear of failure lies in your communication. So you feel like you may fail in your ability to communicate with others and say exactly what you hear in your head out loud. You feel like every time you say what you need to say, it's not exactly how you want it to come out, and nobody actually ever heard you really, or felt you really, or seen you really, or understood you really. Or the fourth house, you may feel like a failure. You may feel like you fail your family, and you feel like you always have to like be indebted to them, and you always have to prove yourself to them and show up for them and be all, this nurturing, caring, compassionate spirit, even if the rest of your family isn't caring and compassionate, even if they're truly like deeply traumatizing or just unhealthy behaviors and habits, and you're the only person with healthy behaviors and habits, but they still demonize you for being the unhealthy one, or demonize you for being the one who has issues or doesn't have it together, when you've been literally sacrificing everything within you to make sure that the family doesn't fall apart. Like I said, this is all dependent on which house Lilith and Capricorn is for you. However, the feeling of failure, the feeling of regret, the feeling of shame is true to Lilith in essence. However, by this being a sign that rules reputation and status and public image, it is amplified. It is fully embodied. It's every waking point of your life. You have this nagging at you. And it can feel like, what's the point most of the fucking time? Because it's like you do all of these things, you show up with honor, you show up with dignity, you show up with respect, you show up with compassion. And just like a Capricorn sun, you're seen as unloving, unfeeling, unforgiving, uncompassionate, unemotional, whatever the fucking case may be. And you're like, you sure? You sure you're talking to me? So to reiterate what I just said, these people receive a lot of backlash, especially in the public eye. And this is because the 10th house rules public image, fame, recognition, the father, honor, legacy, achievement. Like Lilith, even when you move with honor, nobility, and integrity, you're shamed deeply for not doing exactly what the other person wanted you to do, or moving in the status quo of the flow of how things should be run in normal, of how things should be run on a normal day-to-day basis. So like, for example, you may have started a job or worked in a job, and they might have asked you to do something that went against your morals or values, or even you've noticed that the way that the job operates is just disingenuous, dishonest. They don't even hold up to their own moral code. They don't even hold up to their own moral philosophies. And when you move the way that you move, which is with integrity and righteousness and nobility, you get shamed and you get backlash and you get mistreated and villainized because you decided to move against the grain. You decided to move with the right form of action. And more often than not, people with displacement tend to be able to, I'm not going to say be able to, people with this placement tend to job hop more than other placements, and it's not because of your lack of work ethic. If anything, you have the best work ethic in every job you've ever worked in. You're better than everyone else. The problem is you can't stay in a place that goes against everything that matters and still try to call it a reputable and responsible business. That's just not for you. Like, you need to be somewhere where they have integrity, where they have nobility, where they have respect at the forefront. And if that's not what's happening, then you're going to continue to run into instances where you feel villainized and you feel ostracized, and you just feel like you're the smartest person in the room, or you're just not the right person to be doing this job. It's almost like a jarring, like you stick out like a sore thumb. You stick out like a sore thumb compared to your colleagues, and people are wondering, why are you here? Like, you deserve better. You carry yourself in a much better way than everyone else here. But yourself, the way that you view yourself may have been, like I said, skewed or jaded by the way people have constantly told a narrative about you that's just not true. Their mind movie was not true, and some of it may have leaked it into how you view yourself. So it is common that each instance that you stand for yourself leaves you disgraced and ostracized or disregarded. In love, people with displacement tend to have very, very, very high standards, almost unreachable standards. And the reason that you're like this is because the energy that you put into anything, you expect to get back. And no one shows up the way that you do. No one gives the energy the way that you do. No one gives their all the way that you do. And it shows up in every instance of your life, work or bedroom. So when you have a lover that doesn't meet your demands or just meets your general expectations, to you feels like the bare minimum of what a lover or partner should do, it can make you turn cold or even avoidant, because the people with displacement are so self-reliant and so self-sufficient that it can come off as if like, oh, well, I don't need anyone or anything to do what I want to do. And that's true. Technically, you can achieve everything you want by yourself, but you can get a lot further if you just find the right people to share camaraderie, share your experiences and your knowledge and your just love with. There's a possibility that you might be more attracted to people in higher up positions, or people who have the tools and resources that can take you where you need to go to achieve your highest dreams or cultivate your highest dreams. This is not to be misinterpreted as you are attracted to people that you can use to get to where you want. No, you are genuinely attracted to people who have shown discipline, show ambition, and not only that, their work speaks louder than their words. Like, you see on plain as day that this is someone who can partner with you, that can stand right beside you, and you don't have to carry them, you don't have to baby feed them, you don't have to worry about teaching them how to be a certain way, and you don't have to be held behind because of how many far steps they are from you. That doesn't mean you disrespect people who are just far from you, because when it really comes to love, your Venus placement and your fifth and eighth house placements will have more of an impact on how that actually manifests for you. But I do know that it can manifest in this placement as being attracted to people who have the fortitude to stand up next to you and be a great partner. So your work, Lilith and Capricorn, your work in this life is to completely abandon all public opinion. And it's important for you to do this because this allows you to align yourself with your divine destiny without any outside noise. And we all know that all it takes is one idea to germinate and get inside and fester in your mind, and it can debilitate you. It can cause depression, it can cause anxiety, and it can cause you to completely disassociate yourself from reality as it is. And as a master and powerful point, this is, because Lilith in 10th house is the culmination point, okay? This is the pivot of where the axis turns. This, people with this placement, you are built to withstand things that no one else has ever known. Every struggle, every adversity, every challenge has made you smarter, savvier, stronger than any other person in the room. And it didn't kill you, right? So you're stronger. It might not be the most pleasant upbringing. It might not be the most pleasant life journey. It's not a life journey that you would have chose personally. However, every single thing that you have experienced that has given you the ability to be stronger, all of these things have built you up to receive the recognition and fame and notoriety that your heart may desire. Even if you don't desire to be in the public light, your mission, if you choose to do so, will put you in a space to be in a public image, in public light. This is why your work is to completely abandon all public opinion, because no matter what you do, people are gonna think of you the wrong way. They're not gonna see you clearly. They're only gonna see you from their jaded perception, when ultimately you're a compassionate, kind person, and you just want the best for everyone. You don't want people to struggle the way you do. You don't want people to suffer the way you suffer. You don't want people to have to go through this turmoil and backlash and misunderstandings that you have. So I say this to say that your legacy will be built upon the back of your struggles, because there's no better teacher than someone who has experienced it. And the people who lack experience will need your guidance. They will appreciate your guidance, and ultimately it will be honorable for everyone to experience your guidance, your advice. Just speak about your experience, because no one is more qualified than you. I do recommend that you find people who are not intimidated by this aspect of you and who see you clearly, be that friends, jobs, lovers, whatever. Definitely find the people whose mind movie matches up with yours, who see you just the way you see yourself. And go fucking crazy. Like, go crazy. Actualize your dreams, because I know you have them, and I know that they're so clear in your mind. I know you know exactly what you want to do, but you keep getting hit with so much adversity over and over and over again that is making you not want to pursue it, or is delaying your process, because you have to sacrifice to heal again after you are hit with some type of adversity. And healing is part of the process. Resting is part of the process. I'm just asking you, because I don't have this placement, but I know that I can learn from you. I know that there are many of you who can teach me something that I probably would have never been able to grasp in a way if it wasn't from someone who was as articulate and experienced as you. That the world needs you, that we need you. And I know that this has been a tough road, and you would rather a more easygoing life, but that's not the life that your spirit chose ultimately. And the best thing you can do with that is take hold of the power that you've been granted and do something good in the world. And don't let any naysayer get in the way of you building the legacy and achievements that will ultimately save a lot of people in this world. Yes, use your work as a symbol of protest. Use your work as a symbol of a big fuck you to everyone who doubted you, who disregarded you and disgraced you and didn't see you clearly. Use your work as the proof that, like, no, I belong here, I have integrity, and ultimately, like, I'm a good person. No matter what your mind movie says, I'm going to continue to show up and prove my worth, my value. All that I have for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, as always, be good to yourself and take care of yourself, and I hope to see you guys soon in the next video, which will be Lilith in Cancer. Peace.